welcome to MAGPIE. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Devon. And I'm going to be showing you today how to make a top model of Tracy Island. And if you don't know what Tracy Island actually is, you'll find out very soon.
Yes, and I'm going to be talking to a couple of very colourful characters from the Millennium Dome experience. Sounds intriguing? Yes, it will be.
But before all that, we're going to take a look at a clip and see how many of you actually remember this.
Thunderbirds are go.
Well, there's no guessing what's going to be this year's mega movie success. Of course, it's going to be the release of Thunderbirds the movie. Now, Thunderbirds was originally a puppet series made in England between 1964 and 1966. It was considered by its fans to be Gerry Anderson's greatest creation. And the unusual thing about Thunderbirds was it was the first time that you could actually buy all sorts of memorabilia connected with the show. And in fact, these items are worth an awful lot of money these days and go for huge sums all over the world in auctions. Now, we're very lucky because here in the studio today, we actually have one of the original models of Tracy Island. And Tracy Island was the home of the Tracy family and the secret headquarters of International Rescue. And of course, all the spaceships had to be hidden away inside the mountain and beneath the buildings. And as you can see, Thunderbird 1 was hidden beneath a swimming pool. And this was always the one that was at the scene of the accident first. And it had Scott piloting the craft. Most people's favourites, of course, was the Thunderbird 2. This was the great vehicle-carrying Thunderbird, and everybody used to watch the series and wonder what was going to come out of the pod. That was always a really great, exciting moment in the show. My particular favourite was Thunderbird 5, which was up in space, and it had John at the controls, and John was controlling everything that was happening down here on Earth, a bit like our director up in the gallery. Thunderbird 5, can you hear us? Perhaps not. Well, you can't actually buy these anymore, of course, because they are collector's items, but on MAGPIE, we're going to show you how you can create your very own Tracy Island. And to do this, I'd suggest you start with a nice solid base to work on, and we usually use something like cardboard for our model making. And of course, you can find cardboard all over the house, can't you? Such things as shoe boxes, perhaps. You could cut up a nice shoe box and stick them together to form a nice solid base. And if you haven't got a shoe box, then you can always use a cereal packet or something like that. But once you've got a nice shape on the table for your base, for the island, then you want to create a nice structure for the mountains. And we're using today plastic cups. And if you haven't got plastic cups, you can always use paper cups or toilet rolls or perhaps even washing up liquid containers. Now, obviously, we want to create some nice dimensions in the volcanic island. So just simply cut up the cups and create some different heights for it. And it's very easy to do. Just make a couple of incisions on each side of the cup like this, and then just nice and neatly cut around the edges until you've got a different shape, and then you can just place it somewhere on the island wherever you feel really comfortable. But do remember, of course, if you're very young and you're going to use any form of knives or scissors, then do try and get an adult to actually help you or supervise you, because we don't want International Rescue coming to collect you and help you get better. So once you've decided on a shape for your island, we want to give it some nice form and make it look realistic. Now, the best way to do this is just to get newspaper and scrunch it up into some really nice shapes, some big rocky terrain here, because we want to create a really great island, don't we? And then just neatly place it somewhere in between the cups like this until you're happy with the shape of the island itself. Now, this is where we have to actually make the covering for the island, because we want to keep all these shapes intact, don't we? So we're going to be making my favourite today, which is papier mâché. Now, if you like getting sort of really messy and sticky, then this is the part for you. Just take a couple of dollops of glue, and if you haven't got water-based glue, you can use something like wallpaper adhesive, and just give it a good couple of dollops there in a container. You can use a plastic container or maybe a dustbin or a bucket or something. And then just add some water like this. Make up a nice, icky, sticky solution. Very easy to do. Can you see that? We're getting a nice paste there in order to make our papier mâché. Then, the trick of papier mâché is to get lots of newspapers and just tear them up into strips, lots and lots of little tiny pieces of paper, and place them inside the container like this. What you want to try to do is get them really, really soggy until you've got something that looks a little bit like porridge. hope you like porridge, because this definitely looks like porridge by the time it's finished. And of course, we haven't got time to do that right now, but I do have one, of course, that we made a little bit earlier. And here it is, and as you can see, it doesn't look very much like porridge, but it certainly feels like it. I know my porridge in the morning always feels like this. And then once it's nice and malleable like this, place it on the island and start building up your structure. And if you want to create some nice smooth surfaces, then use some bigger pieces and just use the paste again somewhere. If I've got my brush, here's my other paste brush. Just smooth on some nice pieces like that, and then you can lay those over the top of the island. Now, the real trick with making an island like this and using papier mâché is that it has to set, so be patient. Patience is the big key factor. 24 hours and you should end up with a nice rock-hard volcanic island, a bit like the original down here. Now, of course, that's all we have time for today on this programme, but next week I'm going to be showing you how to actually add some foliage and some plants to the actual island itself, and you can use all sorts of things for that. But,
that is looking very good indeed. I have to
like my Tracy Island?
It's getting there, it's getting there. And by next week, it's going to be looking absolutely top. Now, Devon, I've got a bit of a confession to make.
I know.
I think I'm going to be in a bit of trouble. Before we were getting ready for the show, Devon said to me, oh, I'm so excited about today's show. I said, oh, why is that? He goes, Thunderbirds are so cool. I'm going to be making Tracy Island. And do you know what? When I was little, I had a really big crush on one of the people in Thunderbirds.
I can't believe you're doing this.
Who's that then? Who might that be? And it's Lady Penelope. Now, in case you don't know who Lady Penelope is, take a look at this.
Home, milady? Home, Parker.
And that was Lady Penelope then, and this is Lady Penelope now. This is Mary Kayser, who is playing Lady Penelope in the Thunderbirds film that's coming up soon. And I am going to leave these two alone while they can catch up and Devon can talk to his all-time favourite hero. And from one fictional 21st century building to a very real 21st century building. Over here we have Kathy and David from the Millennium Circus act, and they are going to be performing in the Millennium Dome. Now, Kathy over there is juggling, obviously, is going to be one of the jugglers. David here is, surprisingly enough, a clown. There are going to be acrobats, trapeze artists, all sorts of people who are going to be performing in the Dome. Kathy, tell me how you got involved in this.
Well, it started off as sort of a family thing, and I learnt to juggle and got myself involved with the whole circus thing, and then after school it was very much a case of running away to join the circus.
Excellent. And what are you actually going to be doing on the night of the Millennium?
Well, on the night of the Millennium, Michelle, it's going to be rather special. Everybody, acrobats, unicyclists, jugglists, clowns such as David, are all going to be getting together in Greenwich around the Dome, lined up along the Meridian line, and on the stroke of midnight it's going to be juggling, balloons, the works to welcome in the Millennium.
Can I come?
You certainly can.
Am I going to have to learn how to juggle first?
I think you might have to.
Oh, that could be tricky. I'm not really the most coordinated person in the world, but I'm going to have a go. Because in this bucket here, we've got lots of apples and oranges and lemons and, conveniently enough, some gold juggling balls. So, do I just start with 3? Is that how you do it?
You might be a bit optimistic.
Oh, really? Oh,
maybe
okay.
1.
Right, maybe 1. Okay, so we'll start with 1. So what's the key to it? Is it balance? Is it... What is it?
It's nothing to do with catching. It's all about throwing.
Okay.
Because if you throw the ball right and your hands are in the way, then, of course, you're going to catch him.
Okay, all right.
So it's all about a nice, even throw.
Okay, I think I can do that. Just about.
Yep.
I'm doing well.
Loads of time.
Loads of time.
I think you've got that down to fine art.
Okay, I can do that. What's the next stage?
Ball number 2.
Ball number 2, okay. If you can hear lots of squeaking noises, don't worry, they haven't got rats running around the studio, it's just David making his balloon animals here. Strange goings on. Okay, 2 balls in my hand.
2 balls. And when ball number 1 hits the top of its arc,
yep,
ball number 2 comes in underneath. And you've got loads of time, and it's a simple 1-2.
Just a simple 1-2.
Just a simple
okay.
1-2.
Simple 1-2.
Oh,
nearly. So tell me, how long does it take for somebody to be able to get really good? Oh no, I'm doing it. To get really good at juggling.
Well, by the end of the day, I'd hope that you'd be able to juggle 3 balls in the...
Well, it's going to take me the whole day.
I'm afraid so,
to
to learn that pattern, which is the first juggling pattern, which is called the cascade. But 6 months' time, you could well be doing a number of juggles quite professionally.
Oh, excellent. And now how come, like, you see people like the streets of Covent Garden and people who do kind of street art and that kind of thing, I've seen them juggling with the most bizarre things. I mean, I've seen somebody juggling with chickens once, which quite frankly upset me greatly. And don't go juggling with chickens at home because it's not very nice.
Eggs perhaps, but not the chicken.
Well, eggs, if your mum doesn't mind her kitchen getting a little bit messy. My mum might get a bit cross. But so yeah, I mean, what are the strangest things that you've juggled with?
I did try juggling fire once, but it wasn't my greatest success.
Juggling fire?
Yeah, flaming batons.
I somehow think that I wouldn't be allowed to juggle with fire in the studio because I think I might get into a little bit of trouble.
Might be a bit risky.
Yes, it might be a bit risky indeed. Now, the other thing, I was going to say, if you were going to be juggling in the Millennium Dome and something went wrong, like on your big finale, what would happen? I mean, this is going to be a moment to remember forever.
Yes.
And what happens if you're going to drop one of your balls or somebody throws fire? And
I think that would be where I'd hand over to David.
I see. That's your role, to come and rescue things.
Come and
wrong.
rescue, create a diversion. I think would be my main tactic.
I see. I was going to try with my 3 balls, but I seem to have it's here. Okay, I'm going to give the 3 balls a go.
Right, bags of time again. 1, 2, 3. Easy as that.
1, 2, 3. Whoa!
Oh, that was close.
2 out of 3 is not bad. 2 out of 3 is not bad at all. Now, oh no, I don't think I'm going to get this.
No, well, you've got 6 months to practice.
6 months to practice, yes. In fact, to be quite honest, I think I'm going to stick to my day job, really. And but you can catch Kathy and David and all their other people at the Millennium Dome.
That's
and are you going to be doing that for all of December and
all through
all
December
of January?
and well into the new year?
Fantastic, because it really is going to be a show to remember, because they've got the huge big body there as well, haven't they? The biggest body.
I'm really impressed with your juggling there, Michelle.
Oh, you're impressed?
Yeah,
well, it doesn't
great.
really take that much
You're
to
gonna be
impress you
an
in that
expert
case.
in 6 months.
I'm going to be an expert. I'm going to get the hang of this one day. So you can catch Kathy at the Millennium Dome, but more importantly, on next week's show, what have we got coming up?
Completion of Tracy Island.
Completion of Tracy Island, and I'm going to be hot on the trail of the new boy band, which I'm very excited about. So see you next week. See ya.
Bye-bye.